Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Alright. And it turns out there's a new episode of Star Wars. Again, I don't watch it. I don't subscribe to Disney. I don't have Disney Plus or Disney whatever. Why? Because in order for these people to get the message, you have to stop buying their stuff. You have to pretty much vote with your money. Okay? The less garbage that they put out there that you buy, the more they will understand and be like, yeah, they don't fuck with our shit. We need to come up with a new idea. That's why me personally, I don't buy any of that stuff. Okay? I don't buy any of that Disney Plus stuff. I don't subscribe to them, none of that. Okay? Why? Because again, there are people who have an agenda. Okay? Their agenda does not in line with mine. And so they're trying to force their agenda on me. And the way that they go about doing that is if I put money in their pocket, they're just going to turn around and turn their money into something that they can use to oppress me. And so, again, doesn't really work out, does it? Anyways, that's me just ranting on about why I don't subscribe to it and why I haven't seen the full 1 through 6 episode. But Nerdrotic, God, why? Yeah, Nerdrotic. There you go. He subscribed. He watches it. And so, let's hear what he has to say about the 6th episode. And that's a good way to put it because, I heard there's a scene where, you know what, let's just watch it because I think he's actually going to show it.
How does it feel? Feels good, doesn't it? To hold one in your hand again.
Stay where you are.
If you're not gonna join me, I'd like to put my clothes back on.
Two hours later.
Nerdrotic.
That's a really good intro, bro. I gotta give it one. That's freaking hilarious.
.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million hellions and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. Yes, we are going to see this through and talk about the Acolyte once again.
No.
It could be because we want to find out the answers to the well-crafted mysteries like who was responsible for killing the lesbian space witches? How indeed did 2 women from the coven of lesbian space witches conceive twin daughters without a father? How do 2 identical twins separated for 16 years have identical haircuts?
And with all the respect, if this was based off of reality, that baby would have came out extremely deformed with some kind of, I don't even think it would have looked human. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're going to try to use 2 females to create a baby, it's just going to look freaking not human. It's going to be disgusting looking.
Who in the hell thought it was a good idea to give $180 million to former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, to make a Star Wars show? Who thought it was a good idea to cast Amandla Stenberg, who put more effort and emotion into her diss track of Star Wars fans than in either of the 2 characters that she plays exactly the same way?
And it's funny how she made that and then talk about racism and shit like that, and yet she's racist toward white people. I mean, the double standard is just, oh my God, They don't even try anymore, man. And again, you vote with your money, okay? They are taking your money and giving you this garbage.
That nobody cares if they live or die. Regrettably, we're not going to get an answer to some of those questions, but quite frankly, I'm here because I haven't laughed this hard in years. So let's see what, and forgive me if I haven't mentioned this before, former personal assistant to Harvey...
Hold on. Let me take it back real quick, okay? Now, it's zooming in, right? The majority of crowd are men, by the way. Look.
Let's see what.
I mean, just look. I'm not saying there's no women, but the majority of the crowd are men. That's one. Two, the majority are white people. That's three, right? And then, if you go to Leslie or whatever the heck her name is, if you go to some of her previous interviews, she's talking bad about white people. So when you think about it, right? Not only is she participating in a show that is promoting LGBTQ, right? It's also promoting, it's promoting two women on women. She, in her day-to-day life, says she did. I gotta find a video where she talks about white people, right? It's not positive, obviously. I think she says she wants to make white people cry or something like that. And then you want to take the show and make it into where it's not toward the majority of the crowd, toward the majority of the fan, which is what? Mostly men, not just men, but white people. So you hate men and you hate white people. It just makes no sense.
And forgive me if I haven't mentioned this before, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland.
Man, they are going to grill us with that, bro. And again, I don't blame them because Harvey Weinstein, he is, homeboy did not go down easy. Why? Because he has a lot of allegation on him when it comes to women. Let's just go ahead and say that. And the fact that she was the assistant says a lot.
Has in store for episode 6 of a series that she calls the most important piece of art that I've ever made. Previously on The Acolyte.
The Jedi justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace.
In the name of the Republic and the Jedi Order!
You are under arrest.
Get out on the ground! Get on the ground!
Get on the car.
Stop resisting.
Take him down.
After The Acolyte episode 5, 5s and 10s of the fans were rejoicing because something actually happened. Characters we knew little about and cared less about died amidst a lightsaber battle that had the same entertainment value and consequence as those videos of cats chasing laser pointers. And in one of the most obvious reveals in herstory, Smilo Ren is Asian Ezra Miller, who also happens to be a Sith. Diverse non-binary antagonist trades places with her sister, diverse non-binary protagonist, and it all culminates in the Jedi trap.
Look exactly the same. Talk the same. Same height. I mean, God, dude. Wow.
In episode 6, titled Teach and Corrupt, a bit on the nose for Disney Star Wars.
Here's my question. Where did the females get the sperm to... You know what? Sorry. Hey, I'm just a logical human being, okay? I like to ask logical questions. Throughout all of human history, no human being, except for Adam and Jesus, beside those two, no human being, Adam, Jesus, and Eve, Hawa. Beside those three, no other human being has ever come into this world without the intervention of a male.
Diverse non-binary protagonist wakes up after being knocked out by a force push for the second episode in a row. But this time it had to be more than that. It couldn't just be a force push. It had to be a force roofied. Not only did her sister, diverse non-binary antagonist, knock her out and then strip her naked and then put other clothes back on her, then she was found by Smilo Ren. A blanket was put over her. Then he put her on a spaceship, which took her to unknown planet on an island where she woke up. And yes, that island on unknown planet does look like it's on Octu, and Perry, don't you dare use that meme. And with Disney Star Wars, I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. Then I remembered,
I don't care.
that guy from Squid Game finally does what someone should have done last episode. He tries to contact the Jedi Council. Unfortunately, the connection isn't good, but to be fair to the Jedi Council, even if it was, I doubt they'd understand him. Please keep in mind the guy from Squid Game is now with diverse non-binary antagonist who's posing as diverse non-binary protagonist. Now, it's still in question whether or not Master Soul knows that diverse non-binary antagonist is posing as diverse non-binary protagonist, but considering that he's turned his back on his enemy twice, he doesn't sense the fact that she almost tries to kill him, and the only reason she doesn't is because he asked her to take the wheel.
Stupid!
Then the guy from Squid Game goes down on the ship to reset the communicator and does something no one's been able to do this entire series. Emote.
Emotional damage.
And because Disney Analytics dictates that you can't have any complex emotions in Disney Star Wars for longer than 2 seconds, we cut away to Space Beaver fixing diverse non-binary protagonist speak and spell. This brings us to a first we never thought we needed. If you thought lesbian space witch interpretive dance was bad, Star Wars...
How come the twin didn't come up with horn? I mean, the whole, like, oh my god. Who, like... Bro, when they were sitting down and coming up with the story for this Star Wars, why couldn't they just, like, I don't know, create 2 twins and say we don't know who their parents are, but we've been raising them among girls? That would have made so much more sense. Rather, oh no. We had to, make sure that people understand that 2 females can come together and create a twin, right? And when they create a twin, the twin doesn't even have to look like the mother, who has horns, by the way. Oh my god, dude, you can't make this up, man. You just can't make this up.
Very first and hopefully last Me Too as Reylo fanfic scene.
The Sith reaches the edge of the placid pool. He unslings his bag from his shoulder and unpacks it, while Osha observes from a hiding spot in the rocks. As he begins to untie a belt...
What if the roles were flipped in this situation, okay? What if it's the man who was hiding behind a rock, peeking a woman changing before she goes and skinny dip in the water? Would that slide? No. No, it wouldn't slide. It just goes to show you that men and women are not the same. We're just not the same. It doesn't matter how hard you try to sell the idea that we are the same and we can be the same. Heck, we can even change our gender and be the same. Truth of the matter is, it's impossible. It'll never happen. It would never happen. And even in your own movie, when you try to prove that it's possible, you end up doing the opposite, that it's not possible. Why? Because females can do something that if a male was to do, it would be considered as creepy. Or, for example, pedophilia. And I can go on and on and on with those stuff because Justin Bieber is a great example. When this dude was young, you had female hosts who were like in their 30s and the 40s kissing up on this guy on the cheek. Some of them will probably be like, one of the interviews that Justin Bieber had where she was like, would you go on stage and take your shirt off? What? By the way, they just started laughing. Nobody said anything on Twitter. Nothing.
Belted knot from around his waist, she straightens up for a better look. He begins to undress, revealing a prominent scar on his well-toned back. Dropping his billowy-legged hakama pants, he steps forward with the sunlight accentuating his taut muscles. He wades barefoot into the pool. Keeping her predatory gaze on him, she lies in wait behind some rocks closer to the water's edge.
You know, I can hear personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland now. Write what you know. Now that diverse non-binary antagonist posing as diverse non-binary protagonist and diverse non-binary protagonist have switched places, now this is just speculation, but both had an opportunity to kill the men they were looking for and didn't, allowing themselves to be coerced or seduced by a corrupt, unjust, oppressive system that will eventually unite them in victimhood. Now, for the sake of our time and our sanity, let's get this over with, because Teach/Corrupt is essentially filler in an 8-episode series that averages out to $22 million per episode. It looks like the Jedi Council finally got that
$22 million per episode. Wow. Oh, and by the way, that money's not given to you. But you are the reason why the show sucks, by the way. Yeah.
Message. Jedi Master non-threatening effeminate male informs Jedi Master Nepo that he thinks Sol's entire team has been killed.
There were casualties. Who? It sounded like the entire team.
Finally, we get some urgency from the show when Jedi...
When I'm having a hard time remembering something, that's what I would do. I would try to stall. And the best way for me to do that is probably like swallow my spit or act like I got something stuck in my throat.
Master Nepo says the Jedi must leave immediately, but not before they have one more scene together before leaving Coruscant so they can make a little joke about Master Jedi Nepo's tummy getting upset in hyperspace.
I don't get sick. I find it unsettling.
The same could be said about this show.
You know, the laugh in the background, it matches perfectly. It might as well just be a comedy show, to be honest, man.
Oh, they arrive at Planet Gobbledygook quickly, just missing that guy from Squid Game. More on that later. And the Wookiee Jedi Master Kelnaka's location that required days to find with a tracker was found pretty easily by Jedi Master Nepo and Jedi Master Non.
Come on, man. Give them some break, bro. They have to save on budget. You know? They have to save on budget and then blame you for not liking the show. Duh. Jeez, man. Give them some slack.
Non-threatening effeminate male, barely an inconvenience. And wow, they did get there fast. None of the bodies decomposed. They quickly assessed they were all murdered by somebody with a lightsaber. What gave it away? The lightsaber wounds? And
again, man, Nerdrotic, you gotta give them some slack, bro. They have to save money, right? They couldn't just make some fake props and then pretend the body has completely decayed, or the body has been chewed up by wild animal in that region. Come on, man. They don't have the money for that. I mean, they got what? Over $20 million to spend on one episode? Jeez, bro. Some of that money's gotta be put in their pocket. They gotta, you know, pretend that they put it toward the movie when in reality they put it in their pocket. When the show comes out to be garbage, they don't blame themselves. They blame you.
this brings us to a pivotal scene. Remember in the trailer when you saw the lightsaber whip? That was used to kill a bug. And the wise Jedi Master...
Exactly my point. They got wild animal bigger than some of these guys right here. And yeah, they didn't put the money toward, you know, tearing up the body and then saying, you know, in the show, there were wild animals here who decided to chew up the body. Look at that. I don't even make movies. And it's that easy for me to make this scene.
Master Nepo, surrounded by the bodies of murdered Jedi with lightsaber wounds that are at least going to get buried now, has determined that something is amiss. Meanwhile, with diverse non-binary antagonists posing as diverse non-binary protagonists, she's spending her time with a sad soul after dealing with the communications breaking down that they fixed by resetting it and the ship breaking down that they fixed by resetting it. Now, the question is, was this sabotage? No, the ship just broke. This is followed by another cutesy, silly Billy scene when Space Beaver attacks the woman who is directly responsible for the death of 2 Jedi and an accessory for the death of dozens. It's a roller coaster with these 2 ladies. Maybe a dad would have helped. Anyway, Soul finally figures out that May is posing as Osha and stuns her.
How did he figure that out? I'm genuinely curious. Maybe he has some questions that only May would know. I don't know. I mean, not May, but Osha. I don't know, really. But let's see. Maybe Nerdrotic will probably tell us exactly how he figured that out.
And leaves Planet Gobbledygook right when the Jedi arrived that he called. Also, he could put May in restraints to talk. And now, finally, we're going to get the big reveal that they've been teasing all season.
I'll explain everything.
What did you do?
Please, Osha, I'll explain. It's time to make things right. It's time for me to face the High Council. To tell them everything.
Okay, deadass, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. If I watch this and I don't put subtitle, I will not know what he's saying. I'm being honest. I won't know what he's saying. I explained that in my previous episode if you want to know exactly what I think of him being in the show.
Everything?
Well, we're waiting.
I've had 16 years to think about what I would say to you if I ever got the opportunity. So you're going to listen.
Next episode. Oh, and the whole Osha and Smilo Ren talking in a cave is filled with vague notions of the Sith, how it's about feelings. They talk about his helmet. No, not that helmet.
Kurtosis, handy against lightsabers, but also a sensory deprivation headpiece.
Yeah, let's just ignore the fact that she completely just saw my dick, you know? I mean, that's...
It blocks out all your senses?
I guess aside from seeing and hearing, but that's not important right now. They talk about a scar again, which looks like it came from a lightsaber whip. Does that mean that the master that rejected him was Jedi Master Nepo, or was it some other Sith Lord, or was it one of the lesbian space witches? And then I remembered,
I don't care.
the Sith Lord Asian Ezra Miller also mentions the power of two, and I may be going out on a limb here, but whoever the real bad guy is, I'm guessing they're going to be defeated by
The power of many.
And in the dramatic final scene, diverse non-binary female protagonist puts on Smilo's helmet.
Bro, you can't even see squat.
I can't breathe in this thing.
Will diverse female protagonist become...
God, like, oh my, you can't even see anything in that mask, bro, let alone breathe. If you can breathe properly, oof, imagine fighting. Oh, God. I mean, if you haven't fought, just, try punching a bag for just 1 minute non-stop. You'll see how hard that is. Just 1 minute, let alone for as long as he did with that mask on.
An antagonist? Will diverse female antagonist become a protagonist for the third time? Will there be a Jedi with an above room temperature IQ? Will the Rotten Tomatoes audience score go up or down from 14%? Can a week go by without the corporate access media blaming the fans for a bad show? Your guess is as good as mine, but we'll find out on the next exciting episode of The Acolyte, a show.
Alright, based off of the way the show is going, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Okay, it's not gonna happen. The rating is gonna stay the same because it's pretty clear that they have a message of their own that they want to impose that message on you. It doesn't matter what you say, right? And this show tells you exactly why. Because how many people out there have said, we don't like the gay stuff, okay? We don't like the female empowerment. Okay, I'm not saying don't empower females in a movie, but at least do it right. People didn't have problem with females back then being in movie in position of power. For example, Kill Bill is a great movie. I love that movie, by the way. Those movies were females. That's a good representation of a female right there. Instead, what do they have? She-Hulk, or whatever this is. And the shows, the show, this one, and the movie She-Hulk is written by a woman. But no. You're the problem, not them. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. If you made it this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys up in the next episode.